ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च
ब्राह्मणास्तेन
वेदाश्च
वेदाश्च
यज्ञाच्च विहिता पुरा
यज्ञश्च
यज्ञश्च
विहिता
विहितः
पुरा।
पुरा।
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो
ॐ
ॐ
तत्सदिति
तत्सदिति
निर्देशो
निर्देशो
ब्राह्मणास्त्रिविद्या स्मृतः
ब्राह्मणस्त्रिविधः
ब्राह्मणस्त्रिविधः
स्मृतः।
स्मृतः
ब्राह्मणस्तेन वेदा च
ब्राह्मणस्तेन
ब्राह्मणस्तेन
वेदाश्च
वेदाश्च
यज्ञश्च वितिः पुरा
यज्ञश्च
यज्ञश्च
विहिता
विहितः
पुरा।
पुरा।
Oh,
Anyone want to listen? Okay, we'll go for the sentence. Oh, the indication of the Supreme.
Oh, indication of the Supreme.
Supreme.
That,
That,
That.
eternal.
Sat,
That.
eternal.
Eternal.
Iti, thus.
Iti.
Iti, thus.
Nirdesha,
That.
Nirdesha, indication.
Nirdesha.
Brahmanaha of the Supreme.
Brahmanaha of the Supreme.
Of the Supreme.
Trividaha, threefold.
Trividaha, threefold.
Daha.
Smrita
Threefold.
is considered.
Smrta is considered.
The Brahmanas.
Brahmana,
The
the
Brahmana.
Brahmanas.
Tena, with that.
Tena, with that.
Veda. With that.
The Vedic literature.
Veda, the Vedic literature.
Veda. The
Sa, also.
Cha, also.
also.
Yajna, sacrifice.
Igna, sacrifice.
Sa, also.
Cha, also.
So,
Vihita, used.
Vihita, used.
Pura, formally.
Pura, normally. Mataji, can you speak a little bit louder? I cannot hear you very clearly.
Yes, Mataji. Now you are able to hear me? Now it's okay?
little better, yeah.
Okay. Translation is purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the beginning of the creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the supreme. Purport. It has been explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and the foods are divided into three categories: the mode of goodness, patience, and ignorance. But whether first class, second class, or third class, they are all conditioned, contaminated by the material modes of nature. When they aimed at the Supreme, Om Tat Sat, the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the Eternal, they become means for spiritual elevation. In the spiritual injection, such an objective is indicated. These three words, Om Tat Sat, particularly indicate the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found. One who acts without following the regulations of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get some temporary result, but not the ultimate end of life. The conclusion is that the performance of charity, sacrifice, and penance must be done in the mode of goodness. Performed in the mode of patience or ignorance, they are certainly inferior in quality. The three words, Om Tat Sat, are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Example, Om Tat Vishnu. Whenever a Vedic hymn or a holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. So this is an indication of Vedic literature. These three words are taken from Vedic hymns. Om iti ed brahmano dedishtam nama. It indicates the first rule. Then Tattvam Asi, the Chandogya Upanishad in 6.8.7 indicates the second goal. And Sat Eva Savya Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1 indicates the third goal. Combined, they become Om Tat Sat So formally, when Brahma, the first created living entity, performed sacrifices, he indicated by these three words the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the same principle has always been followed by the disciplic sessions. So this hymns has a great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends, therefore, that any work done should be done for Om Tat Sat or for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs penance, charity, and sacrifices with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a scientific execution of transcendental activities which enables one return home back to Godhead. There is no loss of energy in acting in such a transcendental way. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धज्ञानाञ्जनचक्षुरुमीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदाति स्वावदातिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुशतकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं शावरशगुणादन्तं सेवितं साद्वैतसावधानपरिजन श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविदाकान्वितां च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुकपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
So I'll read the translation again. From the beginning of creation, the three words O, Tat, Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So we have been discussing about this chapter for the past few days about the divisions of faith, about in the three modes of the material nature, how we have to do the penance, charity, austerity according to the three modes of the material nature. We have been discussing about it. So we are now in the conclusion stage. So we are have an idea about how the faith differs according to the three modes. So in the three modes, in the modes of ignorant, in the modes of
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All Guru Srila Prabhupada. I apologize for interrupting you. Would you mind stop sharing your screen so we can see you? And second thing, your voice is still lower.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll check it. Now you are able to hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, but would you still mind stop sharing your screen so we can see you? Otherwise, it's just a black screen.
Now you are able to see me? Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Sorry to disturb you.
No problem. So that we are been discussing about that three modes in which all that penance and charity and austerity is been undertaken. So this is about the divisions of the faith which we are discussing. This particular sloka which Krishna comes is a conclusion stage where that we are going to, everyone has a faith, like they have the different faith on different ways. Somebody will have the faith like more amount of faith on the God, and whatever they perform according to their modes, they will do it. But Krishna says that if you do everything without the ultimate benefit, that is without that ultimate faith. Now we are going to discuss about the ultimate faith. What we are already discussed about is about the faith we have on anything. But without connecting to Krishna, everything is considered to be is incomplete. So here what they say is about is this three words, these three syllables, Om, Tat Sat, is most importantly discussed in this particular sloka. What do you mean by Om? Om is a pranava, that is Omkara. As Krishna already says that in Bhagavad Gita, right? Vedayam Pavitram Omkara. I am the syllable Om. Krishna says that I am the syllable Om. So the Om is not different from the Krishna himself. So when we chant the mantra Om along with anything, so that becomes transcendental, because Om is none other than the sound representation of Krishna. That is the transcendental sound of the Lord. So even in the Brahmanas, in the Vedic mantras, the Brahmanas will chant along with the syllable Om. So without the Om, that mantra is not complete. So they have to consider that Om is the supreme way which is connected to that mantra. So Om is the sound representation of Krishna. And they says about the next thing is Tat. Tat is none other than the Tvamasi, that you are. That Om, which represents that he is you are, that represents the Tat. And then the Sat. Sat is that the truth. That is none other than the absolute truth. So that absolute truth, what do you mean by absolute truth? The truth is that it is the ultimate truth. So that that absolute mean like it is everlasting and is ever changing. That will not change. That is called as absolute. So what about us? Like we are all relative truth, right? So what we have, like we might be like I am being a woman in this birth, but might be in the previous birth I might be a man, or might be in any other thing. Like I mean, on the next birth I will be changing. So our truth is not real. That is a relative truth. According to that karma, we are taking birth. But Krishna is absolute. He is complete. So when you take even in the past or the present or in the future, anywhere Krishna is absolute. He is always the supreme. Krishna will not change his position. He is always the supreme personality of the Godhead. So it is considered to be he is absolute. Krishna also says that is now. Mataha paradharamanyat. So I am the no one is superior than me. I am the superior one. No one can be superior than me. So that is the absolute. That is the highest truth. So here, Prabhupada was explaining about it very clearly about this three words, about this Om Tat Sat. So this was there in the Vedic hymns, that what about how the Om has come, how the Tat has come, and how the Sat has come, and all that. So here, Krishna says that Om Tat Sat Iti Nirdesho. Nirdesho. What do you mean by Nirdesho? Nirdesho is an indication. So when you want to have indication of who is the supreme, that comes from the transcendental sound Om. So the Om is a representation. That is an indication that he is the supreme. So his Nirdesho Brahmanas Trivida Smritaha. So they all started reciting the Smrita. They are remembering, they repeat it about the Brahman. Brahman is Parabrahma. So Brahmanas Thena Vedascha Yagnasha Vihita Pura. So it says that these symbolic representations were used by the Brahmanas when they are chanting the hymns of the Vedas or during sacrifices, that is for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So everywhere, like when we do the yagnas or anything, they will tell, oh, that's that. But we, like most of them will not know what is the meaning for that, because this Om Tat Sat, they have a very different interpretation in different ways. If you take, like if you are discuss about that with so many people, like they will tell Om represents Mahavishnu, and Tat represents Shiva, and Sat represents Brahma. They have very different interpretations about it, because even when you take Mayavati philosophy about this Om Tat Sat, this Om Tat Sat means it's very different. Like they say that it was Brahma Jyoti, merging into Brahma Jyoti, the Om, the transcendental sound in which you are entering into the Brahma Jyoti. So if it is not been understood in the proper way, then we will be getting diverted and deviated from the real path. So here, Prabhupada was really very clearly explaining about this three syllable, about this Om, that's it. So he says that, first we'll discuss about each and every line. It is explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and the foods are divided into three categories in the mode of goodness, patience, and ignorance. Yes, we already have discussed about that in the previous shlokas. Whether it might be the first class or the second class or the third class, they are all conditioned and contaminated by the material mode of nature. So it might be any class. It might be in the mode of goodness, or it might be in the mode of passion, or it might be in the mode of ignorance. Everything is contaminated because it is connecting to the material world, because it is not connected to the Supreme. Because we are bound by this material nature. So for that, if it is connected to this material nature, everything is contaminated. If it is being connected to the Supreme, everything becomes transcendental. It's very clear. When they are aimed at the Supreme, that is Om Tat Sat, the Supreme Personality Godhead, the Eternal, they becomes the means for spiritual elevation. So when you are being connecting to that Shabda, that three Shabda, Om Tat Sat, then that becomes spiritual elevation. That becomes a spiritual elevation. So in the scriptural injection, such an objective is indicated. These three words, Om Tat Sat, particularly indicate the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found because it is a transcendental sound, so it is always found. So different acharyas has given different meaning about Om, because Om, there is a lot of meaning is given in different ways. But that is a transcendental vibration which was there. That is the reality of that meaning. And in Gopala Upanishad, yes, it was in the Gopala Upanishad only. Yes, Gopala Tapna Upanishad. They discuss about the syllable Om as Chatuk Shabdo Babadeko He Omkaraha Samudra Giritaha Tamadedde Paro Rajesha Ahimai Hartyatmanam Gopala Kimiti Bhagavate. What they say is, this Omkara is that Chaturvyukta Tattva. That was, it is all the Chaturyuga Murtis. It is a representation of all the Chaturyuga Murtis. Like, you know, what are the Chaturyuga Murtis for each yugas, you know, like Shankarashna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudeva. It is all the representation of Chaturyuga Murtis. This was explained in the Gopala Tapna Upanishad. There are different interpretations given by different acharyas about it, what is meant by Om and all that. But anyway, Prabhupada was very clear about it. What if, because if this Om, like we are not chanting any Hare Krishna mantra along with the syllable Om. So many people will ask, like when we are chanting any mantra or anything, the first sabda which we comes is Om. So why we are not using that syllable Om? Here Prabhupada also answers for that question. He says that, he says here, like I'll just discuss this after some time. Okay, that will be there. We'll finish this first. One who acts without following the regulation of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get some temporary result, but not the ultimate end of life. Yeah, this was what that is. If you are not following the regulation of the scriptures, you will not attain the absolute truth. So if you like, we are been discussing about of the different modes of nature. According to that, we are doing that penance, charity, and everything. Some people will tell, like when you do charity, it is very pious thing. So we will give more charity. So that will really elevate. Like we will get more pious in our life, so that we can do it. Yes, it's good because we are in the mode of the goodness. We are giving charity to so many people. But that will not be for the ultimate benefit. You know why? Because Krishna says that Yagnartho Karmano Yartha Lokasam Karma Bantana. So we will get to be bound by this karma when we are not this, whatever sacrifice and whatever things which you are not doing it for Krishna. Krishna says that if you are not doing it for me, that is supreme, then whatever you does, it will lead you to karma bandhana. So it will lead you to material miseries. So what you will get only the temporary benefit. What you will get a good birth. When you get a good birth, we will be elevated even to the heavenly planet. For that pious thing, we can able to enjoy everything in the heavenly planet. And again, we are going to fall down in this material platform. So what it means? It means that it is only for temporary benefit when it is not connected to Krishna. Because when it is connected to Krishna, it becomes unconditional. If it is connected to Krishna, it becomes complete. So it says that, it is very clearly explained that, like if it is not being connected to the Supreme, then it is not complete. That is that it says that it was temporary result, but not the ultimate result in the life. The ultimate goal is what? Like we have to go back home to God. So again and again and again, the cycle of birth and death will keep on be happening. So if you do a pious thing, then again you have to come and again you have to enjoy for the pious things. And if you do a papa, like all these things, it goes. But everything should be done for the satisfaction of the Lord. Krishna also says that now, yes, yat karoshi, yat yatnasi, yat jugosi tadashi, yat atar, like krushva, matarpanam. He says that everything has to be done for me. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, you just have to do it for my pleasure. Then whatever is become that contaminated becomes transcendental. So that is the way we are connecting. So this conclusion is the performance of charity, sacrifice and penance must be done in the mode of goodness. The conclusion is that yes, Prabhupada says that at least you can do that in the mode of goodness. Because mode of goodness is the way and the pathway for our spiritual progress. So if you are there in the mode of passion or ignorance, that will never help us in the path of spiritual progress, because you will do a lot of papa, you will do a lot of sinful activity. So when you do a lot of sinful activity, what will happen? So if you do a lot of sinful activity, we will never be connected to Krishna. So he says that you can start that with in the mode of the goodness. So mode of the goodness is a path where we can get elevated. So that will be helpful for us to connect to the Supreme. That is the highest path. That is mode of goodness. But anyway, we are being tied up with these material miseries. But even though we are tied up with this karma bandha, but anyway, like this will also, this is a highest path. This is a first class path in which it will elevate to the spiritual progress. Performed in the mode of patient ignorance are certainly inferior in quality. So we should not select that. That if you select that, then we cannot able to elevate. So the three words Om Tat Sat are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Om Tat Tat Vishnuho. Yes. So Tat Sat. Tat Sat means the absolute truth. Who is absolute truth? Absolute truth is Vishnu. So the speculators and Mayavada philosophers, they know that like when you have been reading that, these are all comes from the Upanishads and Veda Sastras. So if you say from this Upanishads and the Veda Sastras, when you're reading it blindly, what they will think is Om Tat Sat means you. You means they will think that is I. That is that Atma, the Jivatma. They will not consider that something which is supreme. That is Paramatma. They never accept, because they think it's a Brahma Jyoti in which we are emerging into it. They will not accept. They will consider everything as I. They don't know who is the prenominator I. This was explained very clearly about this absolute truth about Om Tat Sat, that is Satyam Param Dhimahi, which was clearly explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in Chaturshloki. If you study Chaturshloki Srimad Bhagavatam, it was very clearly explained. Oh Brahma, that is the cosmic manifestation. That in the chapter of cosmic manifestation, in that it's very clearly explained about it. Oh Brahma, what is that? Before the creation, after annihilation, everything, anyone, nothing was there. No one is there. I am the one, always present. It's very clearly given it. And in the Vedic hymns also, it says that Vasudeva idam agra ashinna brahmanacha shankara eko narayana shinna brahmanishana. It says that Vasudeva va idam agra ashinna. There is nothing, no one is there other than Vasudeva. Brahma, na. There is no Brahma. Na Shankara. There is no Shankara. Eko Narayana Ashinna Brahmanishana. Eko Narayana. Only Narayana was there. Only Narayana was there. It says that. It confirms that in the Vedic hymns also. It is very clearly explained in that purport. Prabhupada has given a very, very detailed purport about that. It gives a complete definition of the absolute truth. It was in Chaturshloki 2.9.33. It is in second canto, 9th chapter, 33rd text, 33rd text. It's very clearly explained in that purport. So here it says about that Om Tat Vishnuhu. So it says that Om Tat Vishnuhu. Who is that truth? The truth is none other than Vishnu. So that is that speculation. Through that speculation, everyone then says that, oh, it is fine. Because if you are not under the proper spiritual authority, if you are not under the proper disciplic successions, we will be easily get diverted. I'll tell you one small story. Once there was a merchant. That merchant was, there was something happened in the family. He was started mourning. So he wants to have to show that mourning. What he felt it like he just shaved the head and he wore a black cloth. So in that, like, who are all the customers who has come from the merchant? They saw that, and he was saying that the person was shaved and he was just wearing a black cloth. So the merchants were asking, why you are wearing this black cloth and shaving the head, like, and all. They were asking, and he says that it was Hasal Singh has died. They didn't inquire about it. Hasal Singh died. Hasal Singh died. He just mourned. And he went. All the merchants are like, after the customers, they are all went. And after 2-3 days, they also have shaved their head and they also started wearing a black cloth. Like that, 2-3 people and everyone started doing the same thing. After some time, the minister in that kingdom, the minister came. And he was just saw that and he see that everyone was wearing a black cloth and everyone was wearing like everyone was shaving the head. He just asked, what is happening? That why are you all like this? And he tell, you don't know? Asal Singh is died. Oh, really? He didn't ask anything. He said, oh my God, everyone knows it. I didn't know that. So he also thought, okay, fine. Okay, Asal Singh is died. And he also done the same thing. He just shaved the head and he put the same black cloth. And he went before the king and the king asked, hey, what happened? Why are you all like this? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting this vesha? What is that? I don't know, like everyone says that Hassan Singh has died. Hassan Singh? Who is that? I don't know, my dear king. Someone told that Hassan Singh has died. So I was just thinking. He just goes, go and inquire who is that Hassan Singh, why everyone is at mourning and they are shaving the head and putting the black cloth. Go and ask. So he just go and inquire and they found out that this the first person who was just was that merchant. So they went to the merchant, they asked, oh, you are the person you tell that Hassan Singh was died? Yes, yes, it's Hassan Singh had died. Who is that Hassan Singh? When the merchant said, it is my donkey. So, and this is the way the speculation has happened. Like, if you don't inquire about the reality of the truth, what will happen? We will be reached to this result. So we need to have to go to the proper way. This is a way that somebody says this is the truth. We will accept it. Oh, fine, that is the truth. That is the ultimate truth. And we will go in that path. So that is a way, like if it says that the absolute truth, like it explains in Chandogya Upanishad also, like that explanation about this truth only, this about this Om Tat Sat. So not Om Tat Sat, that is a Tat. The second thing, the Tat and the Sat. It is explained about it, about the self and the truth. It says about the self is that the spirit and the supreme. It says about that the spirit and the supreme. Yes, the spirit and the same that they are one, but they are not quantitatively, but they are qualitatively one. That was also explained in the Chatur Shloka Srimad Bhagavatam. Is explained very nice. Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetanam. It is explained very nicely. So the thing is, so we are not to be diverted by this, like when you are not clear about the truth. So that we have to get only from the proper disciplic successions. If you don't get the proper spiritual authority, and if you don't know that, then you will be get diverted. So even there is, if you are there in the mode of goodness, it is not that we will do everything perfect. Your mind will get speculated. And that day, Geeta Mala Mataji was asking this question to Pyare Prabhu. Like, my neighbor is a very nice person. He's right, he's good. And how come we say that they are not in that? He's a very good explanation. Like, Prabhu took the book and he just explained everything clearly. Yes, if you are not under the guidance of a proper spiritual authority, what will happen? Like, we will be misguided. So that will lead us to the speculation in our mind, and we will be in the wrong path. So that was also happened here. So that was also explained here. So these are the speculators will also make it. So this I want to explain this. So I gave that explanation with that with the story. So next thing is like, so here it says that whenever a Vedic hymn or the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. So this is the indication of the Vedic literature. The three words of the Vedic hymns, Om iti yedat brahmano deshishtam nama, indicates the first clause. This was in the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda it says that this nedishtam nama ucharana. So you need to be in the such a high Brahmanical level to have to ucharana. Ucharana means you have to utter the name of that Om. So you need to be in the high Brahmanical. It says that. And then it says then Tattvam Asi. Chandogya says that Tattvam Asi, that is about the self, the spirit. Indicates the second goal. And Tat Eva Saumya. This Chandogya says this Sat, or Sat is the absolute truth. This says about the truth. So it indicates the third goal. So these Upanishad and everything, when you are not reading without knowing the who is Parabrahma, then you will be misguided. So when you read like because in the Upanishads and Vedas, it will not say everything directly. Lot of things will be hidden. So we need to know who is Parabrahma, means we will speculate ourselves that Brahman is mine, that I am God, you are God, everyone is God. This comes only by this. Because if it is not properly understood, then this problem will come. So it says that Tat Pavamashi at Chandogya is the second goal, and Tat Eva Saumya, that it says it is a third goal. So it's three things combined that becomes Tat. That is O Tat Sat. So that it becomes the third. So they become O Tat Sat. Formerly, when Brahma, the first created living entity which performed sacrifices, he indicated by these three words the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when we are just first the creator, who is the creator is Brahma. So when he created, that only I explained that it was there in the second canto. It was about the cosmic manifestations. First the creation has come. He just says that these three words, that is Om Tat Sat, that is Satyam Param Devaki. This was the words which was recited. So this was created a living entity, performed a sacrifice. He indicated by these three words as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the same principle has always been followed by disciplic succession. Prabhupada is very clear. He says that, therefore, the same principle has always been followed by disciplic succession. See, Prabhupada is not interpreting by his own opinion. Like this is Om, this is Tat, this is Sat. So he just comes from the proper disciplic succession. What is his previous Acharyas says, according to their way of what they understand about Om Tat Sat, that is being followed. They don't have their own speculations about this Om Tat Sat. So he's very clear about it. He says that the same principle has been followed by disciplic succession. So according to that only we are also following. So this hymn has great significance. Yes, this Vedic hymn has a very great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends therefore that any work done should be done for Om Tat Sat. Yes, any work which you have to done is for Om Tat Sat means what? It is for the Supreme. That Krishna already says that, right? Yat karoshi yat natnasi. You have to do everything for me. Because Koktaram Yajna Tapasam, because he is the only ultimate enjoyer. So he is the one who is really considered to be the ultimate enjoyer. No one can be the more ultimate because he is a bhokta. He is the only enjoyer. We are bhaktas. We are the one who are going to give enjoyment to the Lord, pleasure to the Lord by serving him. So Krishna says that it's already he has explained that in the previous chapters. So he says that whatever work is done should be done for Om Tat Sat, that is for the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So the ultimate aim is only the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. If anything is against doing after that, you are in the karma bandhan. So when one performs this penance, charity, and sacrifice with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. So if you do everything related to this Om Tat Sat, related to the Supreme, then you are in the consciousness of Krishna. Prabhupada started this movement is not, he does not say that it is a God conscious movement. This is Krishna conscious movement. The conscious should be only on the ultimate Supreme, that is Krishna. He never says that is a God. He says only one God, that is Supreme, that is only Krishna. So he says the conscious should be only on the Krishna. So if you are able to do everything for that Supreme, that for Om Tat Sat, then it is for that ultimate, So that becomes Krishna consciousness. So he says that it is a scientific execution of transcendental activities which enables one return home back to Godhead. So if you just do some punya and pava, what will happen? We will always come again and again and again and again and this material desires, and then we will come and this cycle of birth and death will keep on being continuing. How to stop this? When we connect to Krishna only we will stop that. How to connect to Krishna? By serving him. Somebody asked, like, it was being explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, like why we know that ultimate is like the supreme is Radha and Krishna. So why we cannot chant the Radha and Krishna name directly? That is a mantra. That is a very powerful mantra, Krishna mantra, Gayatri mantra. We have everything because it contains the chanting of a syllable Om. So why we cannot chant that? Why that is not so powerful? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that, like it was there in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. It says that Krishna mantra haite habe samsara mokshana. Krishna nama haite bhave Krishna re charana. What do you mean by that? Krishna Gayatri mantra, that is Om, liberates one from repeated birth and death in the material world. But you know, Krishna nama haite bhave Krishna re charana. But the holy name of the Lord, what it will do? It will give one shelter to the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is more powerful. Because that liberation we can get. We can liberate and we can also merge into Brahma Jyoti. We can have different types of liberation. But personally serving the Lord is more intimacy. That is the way we are being connected to Krishna. So he said, he is under the shelter of the lotus feet of the Krishna. The mantra, more than the mantra, the holy name is powerful. Krishna nama haite bhave Krishna re charana. It says that in Adi Leela. So here, even though like, so here also Prabhupada explains that, right? Like when you have that mantra, like Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra contains the syllable Om. So we don't want to have to separately have to chant Om in that mantra. That Hare Krishna is Maha Mantra. That is the highest way in which we can chant the holy name. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. So this 3-syllable word is more important. That is Om Tat Sat. So we are being connected to the Supreme Absolute Truth. Only through that we are connected to the Supreme Absolute Truth. So Krishna says that, so whatever you are doing, whether you are doing it anything, but you have to do it as an offering to me. That is through Om Tat Sat. Whenever you start any work, when you do any karma, see when you see what is the karma, karma means a work. But if it becomes karma yoga, when you do a work with yoga, yoga is what? Connecting to the God. It is that how it is connecting to the God. So karma yoga, when it is to be connected to the God, so the whatever duty which is to be connected to the God only, then it is perfect. Otherwise, it is incomplete. So that means you are being have been tied with this material miseries. You have never been escaped from this material miseries. So this syllable Om Tat Sat is being explained in there's a very detailed explanation about is given by different people. Like if you say that about that Tat Sat is like about the truth. So when he describes about this truth, what is that absolute truth mean? What is that? Why you say that it is absolute? All the detailed, if you go inside, we know about what is Sat and all that. So here Prabhupada has given like a basic explanation about that. You understand that everything, whatever you do, you have to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. So this is the way it was explained. So I will go for that next sloka one, and then I will finish it. That is a continuation of that. So I won't have to finish that also. Tashvadomide udagritya yagna dana tapa kriyaha pravartante vidanokhatah satatam brahmavadinam. So what is happened when you do that? He says that, therefore, the transcendentalists undertaking the performance of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. So for attaining the Supreme, they will always chant this Vedic mantra and they will chant this Om. they will do this Om to attain the Supreme. So it says that in the purport, Prabhupada says, Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam. The Rig Veda says that the Paramam Padam. So what is the ultimate? Ultimate is always Vishnu. Ultimate is the Supreme Lord. So the lotus feet of the Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. So which is the supreme devotional platform is only surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. The lotus feet of Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. Sorry, Hare Krishna. The performance of everything is on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures the perfection of all the activities. So the performance of everything. So whatever we say is that this was a continuation of the previous. Whatever you do, whatever your penance you do, whatever the charity you give, whatever you do, if everything should be on the behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and assures the performance of all activity. It will give you the assurance only when it is connected to Krishna. When it is not connected to Krishna, it will not give you any assurance. So we don't like when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we know all these things, then we know that we are dead to connected to Krishna. We don't know how it makes it. So only by the mercy of the Lord and with the desire of your heart that you have to connect to Krishna, then it's will happen. So without the desire, we cannot go to Krishna. So why we have to connect to Krishna if you're not able to do that? We see if you are being in any mode, we will think that like there is no one superior than you. You feel like whatever you do, you are the proprietor. You will think that you are the one you are making everything. But we don't have that serving attitude that someone we are working for someone. We are serving for the Supreme. That attitude will not be there. So that comes only when you arpan, when you do that. I always say, na, tat sat se Krishna arpanamastu. So whatever you do, whatever you make, you does that for the ultimate benefit. So that will not only give you that every benefit, it will give you the ultimate benefit that will take you out of this material world and will go back home, back to God here. That only Prabhupada was saying in the previous thing. That will enable us one to return home back to Godhead. So there is no loss of energy for acting in that transcendental way. There is nothing you are going to lose. We say that I am going to lose this or anything. No, we will become unconditional. We will be completely surrendered. So that is in a very high way. Like it will give you a lot of progress. But we should be always in the mode of goodness. The mode of goodness is the best way. So when we are there in the mode of goodness, we can take the next path. The path will be easy for us to reach to the Supreme. Okay. So this was about that Om Tat Sat. So whatever I have covered. If I will go for the comments and questions. If anyone have any comments or questions, you can carry on. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna. If anyone have any comments or questions.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was a wonderful class. Mataji, I just wanted to quickly check with you. You said Prabhupada says that the Om is already there in the Hare Krishna mantra.
Yes.
So where, how exactly is that, Mataji?
Like he says this is here also, Prabhu. Like he. See, here he says that whenever a Veda hymn or the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, the Om is added. So the holy name, what we are chanting, the Om is added because it is none other than Krishna himself. Krishna says that, right? Like Om is none other, like I am the syllable Om. So if he is a syllable Om, that he is non-different from Krishna. So when we are chanting the mantra, that if you are chanting the Krishna's Nama, like when you are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that Om was entered, that Om is already present there. We don't want to have to include a Om inside that. Om is already present in the mantra. So if you want, like when you want to have to chant the mantra with proper regulation, says that in Bhagavatam also, like, you know, like mantra, tantra, chidram. Like we says that, no, that we need a kala, we need the time, farafina, everything. Deshakalargha Vastu. But Sarva Karoti, now Chitram, there is no need for anything like if you are chanting the holy name of the Lord. So for that, if the Om is hidden inside, so in the mantra, it is hidden inside because it's none other than Krishna himself. The Om is Krishna himself. So where there is no need for us to have to give the name, the syllable as Om. There is no need for it. So that from this only I just explained this, Prabhuji. I think so that's
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Mataji. Thank you. I think, yeah, Krishna says Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu.
yes,
So he is the Om himself. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mataji.
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone have any questions or realizations or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I really like that when you said the difference between karma and karma yoga. So really it's a very, very enlightening that karma can be good or bad, but karma yoga cannot be bad at all because it is you are doing to connect to God. So there's no chance of making mistake there. Thank you for sharing that realization. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any questions or comments or realization?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Wonderful class, but I have one question regarding, as you mentioned that you gave the very good reference from the Upanishad, but sometimes Arya Samaji, they do ask the question where Krishna's name has been given directly in the Vedas. So they do cross questions for that because they don't believe in Upanishad or any Purana, Itihasa. They do follow the Vedas.
Yeah, it never says the Krishna name directly, Prabhuji. Even if you take Rig Veda, it says about that it's Veda Paramam He Purushottama. It says that he is who is a Uttama, who is a Purushottama. He says that who is ultimate is a Purushottama. But he never says the name of the Lord. I says that like I show, like already I explained that in the Vedas or in Upanishads, the Lord names is hidden. Who is Brahma? The Parabrahma name is not being related anywhere. So that is the case. I say like when we are able to go for Upanishad or Vedic Shastra without knowing, without understanding the Puranas, who is the ultimate Parabrahman? We who know is that only in the Puranas we know that. When you read Ramayana or when you read Mahabharata, then only we know that Krishna is an ultimate. He is who is considered to be the supreme. Without knowing that, when you take up Upanishad or if you take the reference of the Vedic Shastras, we will be misguided because we will be in the speculation. So we know that. So people will always say that there is no mentioning of the name. So the Brahman, it says only Brahman. It never says that what is the name of that Brahman. The Brahman is the source of the Lord, right? Like Brahman and Bhagavan and everything is a part of the Lord. But they will not understand the Brahman means they will think it with differently. So that is to say is that the Upanishads and the Vedas should not be read under the proper way. Like you have to go through only through this proper path. That is only through the Puranas. When you read the Puranas and everything, we will get the complete detail about like what is that the ultimate and everything. Then only if you read that, then we will be properly guided. Yes, it has not been directly says in any Vedas or in Upanishad. Upanishad never says that. It is hidden. It's Gukyam. The Lord's holy name is very, very secret. We cannot able to give that everything outside. That because Upanishad is not. It is not speaking in the public. They have not spoken in the public. It was there between the two people. It might be with the rishis or with the people who are disciples who are sitting near to that. They have been speaking with each other. So they like it is like a confidential talk between the people. That is come to everyone. So if that confidential talk, they will understand. The people who is giving that and the person who is receiving it, they will understand it. This Chandogya Upanishad also says that was there between Utkala and his son Swetaketu. I think so. That was that conversation going between them. He was asking about what is truth and what is Brahman and what is self. So if you take that Mayavati philosophy, if you take the same Upanishad, when you refer about the Chandogya Upanishad, they say the self is that Jivatma. It never says anything about Paramatma. So this the way that is misguided, because if it is not come under the proper source. So only Prabhupada is always insisting that it should have to come under the proper disciplic succession. If it is not under the proper disciplic succession, we will never understand everything properly. It will be completely misguided. Yes, people will talk, like people will speak, even lot of people who are giving classes. We can see that in TV and everywhere, even there in so many dhams they are giving. But we don't know, like they are not come from the proper way. Like that they will also give some different classes in different ways, but they didn't get the source from the proper acharyas. In the previous acharyas, they have not given that. They will not take classes based upon that. So should be very careful. Like yes, the Upanishads are not saying Krishna's name directly. It says about Brahman. Yes, Prabhuji. I hope that answers your question. If anyone has an answer, they can.
Yeah, but problem is that they don't accept that, and they do ask the question, same thing, where is the directly? So that point is there, because they do believe only in the Vedas, and I think they do believe only in the Satyartha Prakash, but they do tell that we are the followers of the Vedas.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, correct. So only considered about the Vedic knowledge, we cannot able to give the conclusion. So just the Vedic knowledge will not give us the complete conclusion. So that is the case. Like that is the fifth goal which we have to achieve is through the loving devotional service. So only through devotional service we will realize that the Parabrahma. Through the studying the Vedas and scriptures, we cannot able to realize the Brahman. They will say that there is something like they cannot realize it because they don't have experience that in the form like what you say that they are with love and devotion. So when we just do, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, that only when you are do with love and devotion, we will able to realize the Supreme Brahman. So they will never understand that. If we explain to them also, they will never understand because they have only dry knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is a dry knowledge that will never give you anything, but it contains it. But the way in which you understand it is not proper way, then it's a problem. Yes.
So Ramanand Prabhu, are you saying that they do not accept even the Bhagavad Gita?
Mataji, they do accept Bhagavad Gita, but they don't accept Krishna as a Bhagwan. They do tell that, oh, he died, and lot of our scriptures also misguide us. So there is a Krishna's departure place is there, where his Samadhi place is also there in somewhere, I think Prabhas, close to Prabhas area. I have been there too. So all those, it misguides. Even they do tell they are the very superman, but they are not the God, even including Lord Rama and all those things, according to them.
Yeah, because that, sorry Prabhuji, like I'm sorry, I just interrupted you. Sorry Mataji. So the thing
No, that's precisely like you said, Madhubhashini. They are not following paramparic, evidence. You know what I'm saying? So that's if you follow some hodgepodge, obviously you're not going to understand the scriptures.
Correct. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Avajananti Mavuda, who considered me as an ordinary human, they are considered to be as foolish. They are foolish people.
And he also said, of all the Vedas, he is to be known. He also says that.
Yes. So we have that, but that is that. If you are studying the Vedas dry, like whatever is there, and if you're reciting it and you will not understand, the realization comes only with love and devotion. The realization of the Brahman will not come in any other way. No other path is there. Only through love and devotion. So only through love and devotion, only through bhakti, we can achieve Krishna. We can understand Krishna. We know who is Krishna, who is Brahman. Otherwise, it is not possible.
And I think the Arya Samajis also do not belong to any kind of authentic parampara, right, Ramanand Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. They do follow the Dayanand Saraswati, and Dayanand Saraswati, he has written the Satyarth Prakash. He did very good job, there is no doubt. But also because of him, it has become completely hodgepodge, and also it is very difficult to understand the Krishna as a Krishna Suswayam Bhagwan. It person has to come to that label also, and our Vedas also misguide us in such a way that we can go through the dharma, artha, kama, moksha, and there is no descriptions about the much about the bhakti. It has been mentioned about the bhakti marg, jnana marg, karma kand, and jnana kand, and then upasana kand. Upasana kand also, but it has given in such a way that it goes like rituals completely.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have a meeting on Zoom now. Can we end this?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt, Mataji.
No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhavyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for a nice class, Mataji.